22,000 jobs last month. Hospitality added 21,000 jobs. Transportation, which is important, and warehousing added 22,000 jobs. Construction even added 33,000 jobs. I wonder if this has anything to do with the changing of the season. Professionals and business services added 47,000 jobs. Factories added 33,000 jobs, which is always important. Healthcare and education added 40,000 jobs. Always great to hear that. There's obviously some huge problems here. That the average hourly earnings rose to $22.87 in February. That's up 1 cent. Obviously, your average expenses, your food and your gas, has gone up a lot more than just 1 cent, per hour. It's pretty obvious at this point that people's incomes are not quite meeting up with the increase in the cost of living. Gasoline at this point is averaging $3.50 nationwide. And speaking of gasoline, U.S. crude oil has hit $104. People on Wall Street aren't really responding very well to that, but I don't care about Wall Street at this point. Here's something that's really interesting. When you look at the unemployed persons by duration of unemployment, it's pretty clear that although there's some good news here and there, the average remains pretty high. The average duration in weeks. You look at February 2010, the average was 29.8. The average in October 2010 was 33.9. The average in November 2010 was 33.9. The average in December 2010 was 34.2. The average in January 2011 was 36.9. And now in February, last month, it was 37.1. So you're seeing a steady increase. Even though there's some jobs being created here and there, it's not enough to really have a meaningful impact on people. And another big problem is that these state and local governments are going to have to lay off a lot of people because they simply don't have the money to pay for all these workers. And once they start to cut back on a lot of these salaries and start to lay off a whole lot of people, you're going to see another wave into the economy. You're going to see less and less people out there spending money. And, of course, since this is a consumer economy, you're going to see immediate consequences, as well as immediate consequences of oil prices going up. So it's just going to hit a wall. And people have to understand that when there's a collapse, people don't necessarily see it. Sometimes it takes a few months for people to really process it. You have to understand the economy took a downturn in the latter part of 2007, and we didn't really feel the effects. Most people didn't really even recognize what was going on until the middle of 2008. So how long it'll take people to realize what's really going on, I don't know. The more time it takes, the more time you have to actually prepare. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Bye. Okay, Charlie Sheen and Alex Jones. I don't give a California and Michigan. Okay, both states are pretty much broke and they don't have any jobs, and people are struggling to take care of their own families. Okay, 2 states, no damn jobs. Okay, bottom line. The difference between Michigan and California is that California has hot chicks and beautiful beaches, and Michigan has busted up factories and really shitty weather. Okay, questions and comments. What do you think about those government retirement pensions? Do you think that eventually the government will stop payments to these people receiving these pensions? I think sooner or later the state governments aren't going to have the money to really pay them off. I think they're going to start by reducing some of the pensions. But obviously the government's not going to be able to honor its word. The state governments, a lot of them I should say, aren't going to be able to honor their word. They're not going to be able to pay off these pensions. They will not be able to pay it off unless, again, there's some type of federal bailout. Hey, Dim, let's say everything goes wrong and gets really bad. Can you suggest a place for a meetup for people like us? What do you mean? In Michigan? Or where? I don't know. There's something called CollapseNet that Michael Rupert is working on. Might be closer to something you're looking for. Might have to be some type of website that you have to come across. CollapseNet might be a place where you can investigate, but you have to pay to be part of that group, part of that membership. I don't know. I understand that they need money to actually support the actual system they're setting up there, but I think they need advertisement. because I think it's kind of awkward to be talking about the collapse of Western civilization, and then you want people to pay a membership fee to communicate with